Right, shall we do this? Can you figure out how to do this protocol? Okay. I think we do it like that. Hello. I think this is working. It appears to be working. Right. Things have changed, as you can tell. I'm not quite used to them yet. Oh, I like the chat. We'll have to put a background behind it, I think, so people can read it. What's that? I have no idea. Sir Ghost Poop. Ah, they were the super chats. Yeah. I think. Hello, happy birthday, by the way. Oh, I should say happy birthday to me. As you can tell, we have new software. Yeah, and I'm trying to figure it all out. I've got a whole new screen to work out here, and it's like, which bit does what? Right. The chats aren't lasting long, are they? They're supposed to be all the way through the screen. Why aren't they lasting long? Don't know. Gonna have to figure that. Try moving up there. Evening fella, happy. There's loads of people chatting to me. I better get actually chatting with you guys, hadn't I? Because I'm being rather rude. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Ooh, I can see over OBS. Or what do we call it? Yeah, I'm trying to get my head around it. Oh shit, what was that? Oh, right, okay. I've sort of switched the subscriber notification off. I've switched it off, I'm sure I have. The chat seemed to last as long as people are talking. I don't know. Ooh, he's gone all fancy. I know. It's posh, isn't it? Callum's already submitted a question. Nice one, Callum. You'll have to excuse the confused face. Yeah, because like I say, I've never done this bit before. Okay? Now, technically, there's a new link for donations down below. If I do it via the Streamlabs link that comes with this, it's supposed to tie in with this. It's supposed to give you an announcement when you do the when you do the donations, which technically means no more checking my phone or having to type names in. Technically. Yeah? Right, that's going to really get annoying. Is that coming up on the screen? Or is it just on mine? I don't know. Have a great 29th birthday, Mel. I wish. So yeah, that's just come up. I need to switch that off. Right, that's the alert box. In the alert box. Why do you keep having subscribers? No. No. Right. That should have fixed that. No, it hasn't. Great. Brilliant. Brilliant OBS. Let me click settings and not work. It's mad, isn't it? Oh god. Right, well, I'll have to figure this out this week, I think. It shows it on every screen, boss. Oh no. It does come up on the screen for us as well. Oh no. Mel's regretting new buttons already. Yeah, I am. Does the Streamlabs link go directly to PayPal? It links directly to PayPal. Streamlabs don't handle any of the cash or any of the details or anything like that. They just basically say, this person would like to donate this much. PayPal take the money, then tell Streamlabs, yes, they donated it, and I get an alert. But Streamlabs don't actually handle any of the transactions. There's also no fees for using the Streamlabs because they don't handle any of the transactions. But where is the chaos? It's all around as Mel tries and figures all this palaver out. You've never done it before. Insert dirty lap here. Oh, come on, Anthony. 50 again. I'm not 50. I think I'm 43. I think. Love your videos, and right now I'm making cool terrain board trenches that mean covering tanks and light dreadnoughts will take damage. Very nice, mate. Hey, Tamsin? Hey, Tim? But yeah, Mel is regretting this already. As soon as he may have had a bit too much sugar today. I don't know what you mean, Cat. I had a very nice cake. I'm totally not going to unsubscribe and subscribe again. Jez, don't say that. Everyone's going to do it. It's going to kill the stream now. Anthony Evans. Oh, I'm so glad that's censored. Oh, yes, Anthony. Oh, yes. I actually saw that alert before it went live. I'm liking that. I can see loads of you. Yeah? And loads of you are being cheeky. Tried that already. Doesn't work. Right, so unsubscribing and resubscribing doesn't work. Good. Train Show, why are you drinking out of Kez's cup? It says the boss. This isn't Kez's cup. Yeah? Kez's cup, it's actually a pair of cups. And Kez's cup comes with the real boss written on it. Hey, Dread. Thank you, buddy. Because he's a dad. Thank you, Ant Evans, anyway. As you can see, Ant Evans has gone at the top of the donation screen there. See, I didn't even have to type that in. How cool is that? I will figure this subscriber malarkey out. Do you get anything nice for your birthday? No, nothing really. I've had a couple of pots for tea and sugar and a tray for the studio. Ant says I'm going to have fun with this. Yeah, so, yeah, they're not really a present family, if you know what I mean. Well, not for me anyway. So you'll be down to the post office on Monday then to claim your pension? Feels like it after today. No, it looks definitely like, what you call it, you can't unsubscribe and resubscribe. I'm so chuffed with that. Right, it's calming down a bit. I'm not sure about... We'll figure out that subscriptions. We'll figure it out. I have no idea. We need to work that chat out, don't we? Oh, more jobs than I need. So how's your day been anyway? OBS is not that hard to work out, just takes a few sessions. Yeah, I figure. The first one is actually getting to manage to go live with it, you know what I mean? Now the party can start. I went to my mum's for what you call it, for a birthday tea. Yeah, it's my niece's birthday yesterday. Yeah, and so what you call it, she was having a bit of a birthday tea, so we sort of gate crashed that. Hope you have a lovely day anyway. Big birthday from Sweden. I had a quiet day. Even Kaz was doing running a badger stall at a local show. Yeah, so we went along to a local dog show at the park. So we went along and we took Ozzy, while she ran a stall, and then went for a tea. I'm a pretty easy cheap date, to be perfectly honest. Oh. How old are you, Mel? I'm 43. My day is laundry and Wilder tanks. That sounds good. Thank you, Groom of Doom. You must have got a can opener for your birthday. You need some way to open a can of worms. I've got enough cans of worms as it is. I don't need any more. Right. I'm quite curious now. Everything's settled down and everything's... I'm wondering if the subscriber thing has actually calmed down now. Dogs need turrets and treads. Way younger than my dad. Well, you know, dads come of various ages. I am a granddad as well. We normally do terrain questions, don't we? The link is open, I believe. Yeah, so now we've got over the panic of a new streaming software. The link is open. I've got 5 questions already. Right. Yeah, so we can do this. Yeah. That one. Yeah, got my questions. Would have sent you a moat for your birthday, but you've not done a tutorial on them yet. They're just fancy rivers, mate. Get to an age where you don't even get a pair of socks for your birthday, and only luxury is dipping your ginger nuts in the tea. No, enough about the royal wedding, if you don't mind. Old enough to know better, but still young enough not to care. I thought it was the other way round. Congrats, and? Mel, it may be my end, but you're very quiet tonight. I have my volume on 96 and you're just about standard volume. Right, anyone else noticing that I'm quiet? And then we can experiment with some buttons and see if we can fix that. Hey, Martin. Moats don't flow, though. It depends. Depends on the moat. I mean, a lot of moats were built out of what they did is they built the castle by a river and then they diverted the river, you know, or a portion of the river around the front of the castle, essentially moating it off. In that case, the moats would flow. A lot of moats didn't actually have water in them. They were just mud and shit. Yeah, because that's where they threw it. It was actually better if you didn't have water in your moat. A muddy moat was far more effective at preventing people getting across. Yeah, you are a bit quiet. Yeah, very low sound. Alright, let's see if we can fix this sound. Right, properties. Right, okay, done. I can do that. What else can I do? Is there settings, open audio settings, volume. So I can turn it down, but I can't boost it up. Brill. Absolutely brill. Right. That'll be... Then again, I don't know if I can do it in the Windows settings. Right, let me... It's not even trying to capture that one. I don't... Hello? No, that's not going to work. Right. I'm going to have to figure this one out after the stream. Because I don't know how to fix that. Because it'll just turn up. It's already on 100. It's actually because he screwed up the design and all the rubbish used to flow into the moat and stay there. Dry moats are extremely effective. Volume is very low, had to crank it and I'm barely able to understand what you're saying. Right, okay. Mic. Microphone. Let me see in the windows, right? Not speech, just mic settings. Devices, USB receiver, audio, snowball. Sound settings. Hello, how's that? Let's try that one. Right, that's my speakers. Device properties. Listen, use this device. Levels. Turn that up a bit. Okay. How's that now? Right, let me know. Did we get any difference with that? Did you get anything? Do anything cool for your birthday? No, not really. Did the selfie stick work out all right? Yeah, it's right there. Right, you'll have to tell me how that's sounding now. I think it's better. Yeah, I've actually killed my mic now. Right, we'll use that webcam. That webcam or the 320. How's that one? Right, I'll use that instead. How's that? Oh. Hello, Melon. Is that better, guys? All right. How's that? I think that's better and loud and sorted. All right, apologies for that. We've figured something else out. I've woke up the dog. Right, there we go then. Right, we've figured that one. Okay. I think I think we've also knocked the subscription problem on the head, because I've had a few new subscribers and we haven't had any notifications. So I think we're on a look there. We're getting there. Right, and I know the donations work because at least Aunt Evans has punted $1 over. So I know that's working. Terrible, it's buzzing with static. Great. Try that. Any better? Or a bit lower? Windows, you are awful. Absolutely awful. Hello? I have no idea what I'm doing. No idea. Well, you see, we've got the webcam, which is nice and loud, but very staticky. And then we've got the we've got the snowball, which is nice and clean, but very quiet. Genius. Absolute genius. And there's no way for me to boost it. So let's see if we can take the, like I say, the webcam again. And just turn it down a little so it isn't so staticky. How's that? Told you a Mac. Oh really? Right, let's try that one then. Hey, this is getting better. Cannot hear him now. I could turn it up as well. Just depends how it sounds. So I can go all the way up to there. Well, I think that might be a bit too loud. If you do buy a Mac, make sure to get a milkshake as well. Really? Not to mention it'll pick up the surround sound if he has the mic up too much. Yeah. But it'll take a little while to fine tune this, but it is working. That's the main thing. Everyone's saying it's too loud and Cat's swearing. Thank you, Diggy. I've never seen Cat swear. Stop playing with your buttons, I'm being told. Right. I will leave the buttons there. Are we happy with the buttons as they are? Yeah, I'll get my hands off the buttons. Right, so I think we've got a handle on this. I think we've got a handle on this. I think. It was better with the snowball. Oh, come on. It's like it's like balancing on a pair of scales two boxes of cats. See, I need to listen, but I can't plug my headphones in, so I'm going to have to listen on my end afterwards, and I'll have to fine tune this. We've got time to work it out. There's a blur on your head. Really? I don't know. I've given up. Striking hand. Are you sure it's not your speakers, mate? Oh, the cat's alive. Alive cats? You sound like Darth Vader, Diggy's saying. Leave it alone, Mel. Ooh, Mel, I brought a Dremel. How good are they? They're really good, mate. Dremels are. But get yourself one of the extendable leads. They make a massive difference. Whoa, Callum. Thank you, buddy. Ah, you guys haven't had that yet. Oh. Yeah, the early start is coming. Yeah. Shrouded in as cats. You can please some of the people some of the time, but you will never please all the people any of the time. Very true, buddy. Very true. It's a bit difficult doing it with like getting feedback via text. I mean, what I should do is I should plug, you know, the headphones in. Check them out. I love these. And properly tune it, and I will. Thank you, Callum, for the donation. Callum's gone on the donation box. That's worked. I like that. Variable speed 2 on the Dremel. Very nice. I wish you could fuse both microphones to get the best of both worlds. It wouldn't work out like that, mate. Your top pitch is distorting, so don't speak too loud. Am I clipping, am I? Get a cable-driven one. Yeah. Yeah, I'd recommend that as well. I do that. No PayPal link in the description tonight. No, there's the Streamlabs donate link. Yeah, it goes straight to PayPal, but it just tracks that you've actually done it on PayPal, and it makes a little alert. Don't all Dremels have infinite speed control? Dremels do, but you can get like dodgy Dremels, you know, knockoff ones, and typically they don't, or some of them don't. Evening, Gav. So we've got questions as well, haven't we? Since we might as well get into this part of the show. Thank you, Melstorm. Thank you, buddy. It's coming on. They must hear that. You must hear the announcement my end before it comes your end. So we need to kill that. Because you'll be hearing it on this, what you call it. So let's kill that so that doesn't happen again. Yeah, I like that. We're getting there. Suggestion, add the word PayPal to donate to stop confusion and money. All right, I can do that. Donate via PayPal. Donate on PayPal. I think. Fingers crossed that should have fixed that. You'll have to let me know if that's fixed it. Give it a refresh. All right, okay. So that. When it comes to rotary tools, it's worth paying extra for Dremel. It is. It genuinely is. Thanks for all the tutorials. Been following me for a year and it's been changing the way I make terrain. I'm about to start making Starship Troopers board and I have much better confidence in making things. Very nice, bud. Very nice. And good choice of battlefield. Streamlabs makes you pay money per month. What do you mean Streamlabs makes you pay money per month, mate? Oh, nice one, Jez. Yes, the PayPal description is now there. Thanks, Druid. Now, the alerts don't come through your speakers before we see it on the screen. At least I haven't heard any pre-noises. And yes, that's fixed the donation link. Thanks, Miko. Thanks for the Comp Volley tutorial, Blender. Wife is still angry. Oh, yes. I like that. Yeah, Streamlabs don't charge anything. I was like, you know, I know Patreon charges per month. That's the idea of Patreon, you know, monthly support, the idea of a regular support. Now, what do you call it? this should be tied in to patrons. So if I do get any new patrons during the show, we should get an announcement on that as well. Oh, Bill. Oh, that was a bit cutting, wasn't it? Jez, let us know how well it's working in a year or two. Oh, the cut of your jib, sir. It is one of the things, though, isn't it? I mean, when you buy non-brand tools, I think they may actually have a... I think they may actually... I have a $1.99 charge from them. What? It's charging you on top of the donation. Alright. Mel. Donate $5. Donate. Amount is required. 5. I'm donating enough for gifts. PayPal. Total. Submit donation. Waiting for PayPal. $5. Log in. Oh, right, okay, it won't let me log in, yeah, because I'm what you call it, because I'm sending money to myself. I'm sitting there, it's like, it's not having it. All right. It's only saying, what you call it, it's only saying that the amount I've asked to donate. And Streamlabs says they don't take any charges, so I'm a bit confused. You know what I mean? That's just the leaderboard on the right. Mel needs a brew. Mel does need a brew. Mel, check out Mel. I'm checking out Callum's. So when you want to donate, Mel, screenshot it and send it to me, mate, because I'm not seeing that. And I've not seen anywhere where they're charging anyone for it. I've not seen any charges or anything like that. And from what I've gone through on the shopping cart, it's not putting anything extra on. In fact, easiest one, and have you been charged more than the $1 you donated? So Callum, you purchased Pro Effects. What? Seriously, you look psyched. I need a coffee. I don't like messing people around with money, so when I set things up and then people say, it's charged me this, it upsets me. Right. I'm going to very quickly switch over to the Be Right Back screen. However I do that. Right. I'm going to go grab a very quick brew. Yeah. I did the GIF and fancy stuff. And did it cost you more than $1? It was the Pro Effect thing. What's the Pro Effect thing though? Right, I'm going to just go re-top up this mug, calm down, come back, we'll get this square. Right, back. There we are. Should be better. Why is that zoomed in now? Oh, that's just me. Oh, Mel, what are you like? I tell you what, I'm all over the place today. What an awful colour green. I know it's the default. I'm still learning. Oh, your mic stays on. Does it really? Right, I'll have to watch that one. I didn't say anything or do anything, which, no, I didn't. There's no one down here for me to say anything, so I need to keep an eye on that. Right, I think we should do some questions. Don't tell him. Think of the potential comedy blackmail potential. Oh, really? Thanks, Michael. What's that thing in the bottom left-hand corner? This thing. Technically, this is a tips jar. I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to do. Oh, it's supposed to do something like that. Right, there you go. Oh, do not worry that the first law of robotics has been broken already by the US military. Yeah. But I used to be in the military. Every law's been broken by the military at some point, mate. God give me the strength. Strength to change the things I can and the serenity to accept the things I can't. Is that it? Talk lower, you're clipping. Oh, I thought it was a whiskey glass. Now that I could do with a whiskey right now. Can we put witty comments in the tips jar? As long as you write them on money, Tunnel Rat. That bin tells you the subscribers. If you look close enough, you can see profile pictures of the people that you subbed. Really? Okay. Cool look now. Way more professional looking than before. It may look more professional. I can see him getting strikes against him with YouTube. I have not. It's now empty. You've sent all the money back. Oh, dude. I do not know. I do not know. You have no idea. What do you mean by that, Cat? Right. I'm gonna do some questions now, because I think that's probably the better thing to do in this particular situation. Oh God, there's 11. Right. Shall we get stuck in, people? As always, these are the questions. So, if you've got anything you'd like to throw in, that sort of stuff, yeah, get it in the comments. Right, this one's from our Callum. You're about to start your Statland Guide series, which I'm excited about. Me too. Yeah, but I'm about to start a TT combat build and I was wondering how you would go about texturing the smooth MDF floors and walls. Sand seems a bit gritty. Is there something finer to give it a concrete look? Yeah, you can. There's two options. If you want finer than sort of sand, you're looking at rodent bathing dust, chinchilla dust, okay, or daegu dust, it's called. That's the finest sort of sand you can get. I've heard someone say sandblasting sand is pretty fine as well, but I've never had any experience with that. Moving away from that, you're actually moving towards watered down filler. Watered down filler will give you a far better concrete look than sand and that sort of stuff. Now you say with the floors and walls, yeah, I'm not sure why you'd want to put a concrete texture on a floor, because normally they're finished smooth. Walls externally, yes, but internally it would have been plastered, you know, and then the floors would have been skimmed, so they would be smooth anyway. Are you talking about a rubble situation? I may accept. One second. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. That's it. You could hear the cup being down on the worktop and banging the spoon against the cup. Just as well, I wasn't banging the wife then, wasn't it? Oops, it is my birthday. And I believe off the back of that, I got a comment. I got a donation. Is that what I have to do to get donations now? Right. But going back to Callum's comment, just to finish it off. Yeah, there's some fine sand. Go and have a look at rodent bathing dust or chinchilla dust or daegu dust. If you've got access to sandblasting dust, check that out. From what I've heard, it can be good. Watered down filler is the best in my opinion. See, Bill? That's what I was talking about. See, I won't get a strike for that. That's not a copyright issue. The worst they can do me for being a bit naughty and rude on the stream, yeah, is, and I really shouldn't. The worst they can do is demonetize me, yeah. But IA's check and WatchGlit don't monetize these streams anyway, so. I've used mortar to texture walls to simulate rough concrete. Yeah, that'll work. Red Green's got a vid on it. Shameless plug. You're allowed to say that once a year. Calm down, dude. Use Durham's rock hard water putty. Add a little bit black and grey. I've never played with Durham's. Got loads of sandblasting sand. It's fine as hell. I'm going to have to check it out. Are you going to make a desert or dunes diorama? Yes, I am. That's one of the projects coming up in the future. Wear a mask when playing with sandblasting dust. It may be glass, right? Would grout do the job? Yeah, you could water grout down. Grout can be a little bit funny, to be truthful. I think there's some sort of silicon component in grout or something like that. Right, so yeah, that's Callum's question done, I think. I've used PVA and talc. Do you like Star Wars? Oh, yes. Jen Rower's question next. I'm building a very little urban scene, 10 centimeters by 8 centimeters. Do you know how I could do some kind of dusty environment, like collapse things, creating a lot of dust and it's covered the ground and maybe other parts? I don't have access to weathering powders and I'm short on time, so some kind of do-it-yourself option. Quite often with dust, you can stipple it on. If you're fine enough and use a decent stippling brush, you don't have to use weathering powders. You won't get as good a look as weathering powders, yeah, but it'll look all right. Yeah, that's the cheapest way. I don't know how long you've got to do it. The project I'm working on this month, I'm going to be dusting up and stuff like that. So you might want to hold off until I do it on that project. But what the terrainiacs saying? To do nothing much on this one. I think we've got lag. They're still discussing the concrete. Have only got one week left. Well done, Baptiste, right? I'm not sure if to congratulate you or commiserate you, actually, dude. Right, I'm building a very little urban scene. Yeah. Everyone's talking about teddy bear fur in the chat. Crust up pastel chalk. You shouldn't really use pastels and chalks for weathering. They're not inert. They're chalk that's dyed. Okay, and so they can react with other things that you're putting on them. You know what I mean? That's why all weathering powders aren't simply dyed chalk. Okay, and the fact that when they go weathering powders, the reason weathering powders are so expensive is that each weathering powder is actually a specific mineral. Yeah, that's that specific color. So basically, in its an inert state, it is that color, and adding water to it and that sort of stuff isn't really going to change that. You know what I mean? It's not going to wash that color out of that material. Okay, which is why weathering powders are so bloody expensive, and some of them are more expensive than others because it comes down to the mineral cost. Yeah, not like a material cost and a dye cost or something like that. Is the Stalingrad build supposed to be a real city or a generic? You said overgrown ruined city. Maybe turn a toy into a ruined Stalingrad, add a more iconic children dancing around a crocodile fountain. I'm thinking along the lines, yeah, of a generic city, not Stalingrad itself. Yeah. Also, this one's going to be ruins. I'm going to avoid the overgrown one. The reason being is because if I do the overgrown one, then that sort of overgrows all the ruin work. And what I'd like to do is I'd actually like to show techniques on the ruin stuff and on the overgrown one. Now, Foreground sent me enough buildings actually to do a few 2x2s with that particular building kit. So I'm going to do one that's rubble, and then later in the mini series I'll do one that's overgrown. Learn something new every day. There you go. Didn't know that about weather and dust, Mel. Interesting. Yeah. Well, if you think about it, yeah. If you could use dyed chalk, yeah, as a weathering powder, knowing all the wargaming companies and how they get cheap products and flog them at not cheap prices, let's be honest. I mean, we all know what it's like. You know, you don't buy your flock and your scatter from a wargaming store. You know what I mean? If knowing that, if you could use chalk as a weathering powder, don't you think they'd be selling it by the bucket loads? Yeah. The fact is that if you look at all the weathering companies that sell weathering powders, they're always small bottles. They're always expensive, and the reason being is because it's actually a specific mineral. Yeah, and it's a specific mineral that's that specific color. Yeah, because it's inert, i.e., it doesn't matter what you do with it, it's not going to change. And obviously, when you all our weathering powders come out of the top end diorama stuff, and you've got to remember the stuff that we look at the top end diorama stuff and we look at it as a hobby, but you've got to remember this is also what they use for like the top end filmmaking, the top end museum dioramas and models, educational models. Okay, and in that sphere, architectural modeling, and in that sphere, there's no margin for cheapness. Yeah, everything's got to be right, and you've got to use a professional product, which is why, you know, all our weathering powders have been developed. Yeah, and to be truthful, if you go for like a rust, what you call it, weathering powder from AK Interactive, and you go for one from MiG Ammo, it will actually probably be the same mineral. Yeah, exactly the same material, because that's the only one they can find in that color. That's the cheapest. Here's another one for you. Did you know that aquamarine, yeah, aquamarine blue, is called aquamarine because the only way you get aquamarine blue is from a very specific mineral mine in Afghanistan. It's the only place where you get aquamarine from, this mineral, yeah, that they use for blue. And that's why blue is always, you know, seen as quite a royal colour, yeah, because the cost of shipping it in. But the aquamarine comes from the Latin, and it actually means from across the sea. So aquamarine blue is across the sea blue because it came from this one specific mine in Afghanistan, and that's where all the world's aquamarine came from. Right, anyway, there was a bit of a ramble on what you call it. A ramble on, what was it, a ramble on? You got a weathering dust video in the future? Yes, Bill, I will. It seems that we need to talk weathering because a lot of people are going on about chalk. And that's, you don't want to be going down that route. I mean, chalk can react with the moisture in the atmosphere. It will soak in the moisture and that will affect your weathering over time because it's not inert. Yeah, so you really shouldn't be using chalk. I mean, you can get away with it if you're doing a decent seal of a varnish on top of it. But if you're putting a seal of a varnish on top of it, you've also got the issue that, remember, chalk isn't inert. So you could actually wash the colour out the chalk and you get weird strains. I mean, I've used it in the past and I had all sorts of nightmares with it over time. I thought aquamarine meant cheesy marine. Mel's gone crazy and forgetting what his rants are about. A ramble on random malarkey. The YouTube auto commenting is hilarious. Mistranslates Mel all the time. I'd hate to even look at it. Yeah, I had this long running battle with YouTube. Yeah, as I had to try to explain to him, it's flocking. I've got an video. You wouldn't believe, yeah, how often I say flocking in my realistic flocking video. Tim's saying, yep, learned that the hard way. The basic material of calcium carbonate, it has to be sealed with varnish and worked up slowly. Yeah, it does, but the calcium carbonate is white. Yeah, any other coloured chalk, yeah, is calcium carbonate with a dye attached to it, and it's not inert. That's where the issues come. If you want to use weathering powder as white, chalk's great. Okay, it does absorb some of the moisture over time, so it does need sealing. Yeah, but that's one of the issues with chalk. But yeah, for white, chalk's great. The aging and weathering powders we used on the breakdown department on films was incredible, but the kind of amount that would last for decades for any terrain maker. Yeah. Now I feel dirty talking about Mel's flocking vids. They do something similar with penguins to make Guinness, apparently. Oh, dude. But yeah, keep away from chalk. Yeah, it's not a good product. Not for weathering, like I say. Stop saying it's not inert, as it keeps getting translated as it's not a nerd. Oh, YouTube. You do make me laugh. Right. I think that completes our ramble on weathering powders. Right, let's do another question. Dave Dodge. Okay. Right, got a question about Warhammer miniature assembly. For hairline gaps, say 2 parts of a Space Marine torso run down, what do you use to fill the gap? I find GW green stuff, liquid green stuff, a bit useless for this. Water it down and it seeps through the hairline gap. Too thick and it gets nasty rough and a bumpy surface. Get your get your super glue, put it in, yeah, then get baking powder and sprinkle it into the gap.
The baking powder will fall into the gap, the super glue will instantly bond it, and you just basically fill it till it fills to the top, mate, and you'll get a nice smooth join. And that's how you fill join lines. Or get some old school green stuff, you know, the proper stuff, not the liquid, the ribbon. And make sure it's really warm when you put it down. Right. So yeah, that's how you handle that. Plastic, putty plastics from testers. Red Green saying, anything else, guys? Super glue and bicarbonate of soda. Okay, I'll try it. Yeah, give it a go, Dave. Try it on a watch and an old model first, obviously, but it's a great joint packer. And it's not something bizarre. It's quite a common technique in the hobby. You know what I mean? Sealing pastels and chalk with a sealer designed for sealing artwork would be better than varnish. Yeah, I imagine it would. I don't know much about the sealers with artwork, so I can't really comment, but it would stand to reason. Tam's saying she's seen someone use matte varnish to fill hairline gaps. I can see that. I can see that. Dave saying, failing all of that, Vallejo putty, I think. That's going to be a fallback, but I like the what you call it, super glue and bicarb. Tim's saying, I've used coloured pencils for some effects, but have the same issues as chalk. Some of the pencils will bleed depending on what you seal them with. Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the issue why you don't use chalk. Right. Anton. With the exciting news of Age of Sigmar 2nd coming up, suggestions for either Night Goblin type terrain or Night Undead type terrain? Google, mate. Graveyards, mushroom farms, caverns. I mean, with Night Goblins, there's tons of suggestions already out there by Waterhammer, by GW. You know what I mean? And for the night stuff, Undead terrain. I mean, with Age of Sigmar, I haven't even followed the first Age of Sigmar, so it's difficult for me to comment. I'm just quickly checking. Loads of people recommending different putties. Yeah, I can see all of those working, to be perfectly honest, because they're modelling putties. It's what they're for. Yeah. With regards to Anton's question of the suggestions for the goblin type terrain or the nightly undead type terrain, my big suggestion is go on Google Images, throw some keywords in that, because there's already been a ton. But yeah, no doubt the terrainiacs in the comments will, you know, they'll have a load of suggestions. Halloween stuff. Later, insane. Right. While those guys jump on those answers, right, I need to figure out that chat, because that chat is doing my head in. I just want it to be like just all there, just scroll like we used to. Okay. Sort of a terrain question. Have you been reading the thread on the Terrainiacs group about the Lungeon DT and its awful terrain issues? If so, what do you think of it? Right. Okay, we're doing it, are we? We're doing this one? Okay. Let me go get a can opener. Open a can of worms. Druid, very quickly on your comment, if you want it to mist, you need to break down its its fluid, its water tension. Drop in some flow aid into it, mate. Right, so the London GT. Okay, yeah, there was an image, and it's been doing the rounds, and it on the sort of wargaming forums on Facebook. It was the big London Grand Tournament, Warhammer Grand Tournament. Now I'm saying Warhammer because I know Warhammer Live were there. I don't know what other game systems were organised. I don't know who organised it or what was, you know. I just know there was a grand tournament of some kind in London, and the tables, yeah, for the terrain, they were raw, is the best way to describe them. Yeah, I mean the hills and the hills were literally 3 layers of 1-inch foam cut in squares, yeah, stacked as a stacker, and they were like perhaps an inch gap around each one before the next tier, yeah, and then each table had like 2 sort of walls on it, 2 or 3 walls, which were inch foam, and they were just half. Now, they weren't even painted that I could see. Yeah, I think some of them had tape on them holding them together. And as you can imagine, yeah, I haven't seen a thread that commented on in the terrainiacs group in a long time. Now, I did see on another forum, yeah, a couple of points. One was that the tournament guys only had 10 days to make the terrain, yeah, before the tournament, and from what I understand, there were a lot of tables to furnish. Now, you would turn around and say, well, you know, you've got a tournament coming up, so it's quite plausible that they signed on with a terrain maker to cover all the terrain. They paid him half up front, perhaps, or, you know, they engaged with him, and then, you know, 10 days before the tournament, they realised this guy isn't going to deliver the terrain. You know, we've got to make terrain. Yeah. Another thing, yeah, is that I did hear that they've had a lot of complaints over the past years about the fairness of the terrain affecting the Grand Tournament. And this was effectively, right, if you want it fair, we'll make all the terrain on every single table identical. And it was. Yeah, the photo was taken of a long row of tables, and the tables not only had the same terrain on, they had the same terrain in exactly the same places, and both sides of the table were essentially a mirror of each other. You know what I mean? So both sides had exactly the same terrain set up. So if I was standing on one side and I had a hill here and the wall here, yeah, if I went round to the other side of the table, I would have exactly the same terrain there. Yeah. And so, very much, you know, I've heard that was very much a response to, right, we'll take any variation out of the terrain and we'll standardise it. Yeah. So, I don't know what you guys have heard. What do I think about it? I mean, to be perfectly honest, if it's a matter of they had 10 days before their terrain was due to be delivered, then good on them. Good on them for pulling their finger out with 10 days and probably a very limited budget and getting something on the table and still making the event happen. Those things happen. It will be a learning experience for them. You could turn around and say, well, they could have done better to, you know, keep track of it. Could have been a mate. Someone could have died. You don't know. Yeah, there's all sorts of reasons. You've got to remember this. Terrain making is very much a self-employed industry. So if something happens in that person's life, like it has in mine at times, then there is no one in to step in and make sure the job gets done. So if that's happened, then good on them. If it's a matter that it's a kickback to the players wanting fair terrain, yeah, you play. This isn't to the tournament. I can understand why the tournament organisers have essentially gone, flock it. Yeah, give them this. Yeah, and I can imagine how that meeting went, to be perfectly honest. I can really sit back and imagine how that meeting went. Yeah. But, I mean, to be truthful, this is probably goes out to the tournament players who've, if that terrain is a planned measured decision in response to complaints from the player base of the tournament. Guys, go play board games. This is a war game. Why even bother paint your models? I mean, surely trying to decide whether you're a good player, you know, you've got to be able, taking aside the aesthetic side. Yeah. I'm the best player in the in the Warhammer world in London, at the London GT. Yeah. Because I knew exactly what my table setup was. Do you know what I mean? Train shooter Mel, the tournament's been running for 3 years and they charge 50 quid a person with 200 tables. Budget shouldn't have been a factor. It shouldn't, unless they've spent that budget on someone else who's perhaps died or something like that. No politics on here. Mel, if you've been commissioned and something happened to your life, you would have called in everyone you know. Yeah, I would, but at the same time, I know what you call it. I know what happens if the terrain builder dies. Do you know what I mean? There are situations that can happen. I do know that I'd have gone out my way, and I imagine a lot of you guys would go out your way. Yeah? But, do you know what I mean? Things can happen. So if it was just a situation of, look, we had a nightmare scenario, yeah, at the very last minute, yeah, and this was the best we could do, all right, I'll accept that. You know, next year it will be sorted and we'll get it sorted and we'll use multiple guys. Great, that's fine. Yeah, I can accept that. If it's a matter of it's a planned response, it's pretty damning. You know what I mean? What does it say about wargaming in general? Yeah, Tim, I hear you. 1-inch foam mats. Build everything yourself. Wow, I mean, you've got 200 tables. I wouldn't like to take on that job. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's quite an awkward situation, to be truthful. Yeah, also I mean, you guys will know when it comes to terrain and stuff like that. I don't like rubbishing people's efforts when it comes down to terrain. But, yeah, I don't even, those tables, you know, you were essentially setting up a board game. Do you know what I mean? I mean, what was the point in even putting the terrain? Why not just put little bits of cardboard to indicate where they were? Being a good player is also about being able to adapt and use the table and scenery layout to your advantage. You see, I would be quite happy with a tournament situation of putting the terrain on the table, yeah, and then when you come up to the table, you know, in fact, I'm not going to go down that because I don't know enough about tournaments to be able to really comment. Right. A question from Bullnut. Any ideas for collapsible Mordenheim buildings? Love the game, but push for space. You can go Hearst Arts and you can build with walls and then magnetize. You could do it with foam and then magnetize. Understand, you're not going to get the full Mordenheim look. Yeah, going for what you call it with collapsible buildings, because the functionality is gonna the increase in functionality is gonna decrease. Yeah, the what you call it, the sort of the realism aspect. We want terrain for tanks. Me too. Yeah. Other options is cardboard terrain. I don't know if Battle Systems do a medieval set. You know the cardboard guys. Do they do a metal set? Oh, real Warhammer is UK Street and Tournament legal? I've no idea. But no, with collapsible buildings, you're looking at some sort of slot system or some sort of magnets are normally the best. 10mm foam is strong enough that you could use it to construct. But you are going to have problems with that, I think. You know, it's going to... You're going to have to either standardize a load of the buildings to make it easy, so you know that they're easy to put together. Yeah, foreground do what you call it, do medieval stuff, but they're not collapsible, are they? Landvetier's Lair. Guy on it on YouTube. He does stuff with modular buildings. Not collapsible, but a lot easier to store. Maybe worth check him out, but not. Right, the next question. Okay, another one from Callum. Mel, not exactly terrain related, more painting models, but I know you do that too. Have you got an experience with wet palettes? Do you rate them? Do you have one or recommend? Yeah, I use wet palettes. Yeah, I use just a bit of a sponge and a bit of what you call it, kitchen parchment. But yeah, I use wet palettes quite a bit. I use it when doing model terrain painting. I don't use a model. I use it when doing model painting. I don't use them when I'm doing terrain painting. Typically, when you use it when you're doing model painting, you'll use a dropper pod bottle. Yeah, and so the amounts of paint that's on your palette compared for the length of time that they quite often dry out. Generally, I don't have that problem with terrain making because the volumes of paint, how quickly we're generally applying it. But yeah, that works. Right, next question. I know you even had. That's just gibberish. Something about 100 years old. I can't even read it. I assume it's a bit of a joke at my expense of being an old git. Black Magic Crafts Jeremy did a vid that compares purchased wet palettes and made ones. There you go. The Miniacs? Miniacs? All right. Sir Mel, I've got a question for you. Hope you can answer if you're able. I was starting building some ruins and would like to do more than single level pieces, but how high should I be making the floors first and second? What is the distance on the levels, windows and doors? Oh, right. We've been here before. I typically make the levels of my... I assume we're talking 28mm. If we're talking 28mm, I typically go for, 3 inches per floor. Now, if you go into my foam board ruins, there's a planning video in there. It's one of the first 4 or 5 in the Terrain Techniques Urban or Ruins, but the Terrain Techniques Urban and Ruins playlist. Yeah, you'll find a planning video in there, and I go through absolutely all of the measurements, how I work them out, why they are the sizes they are, you know, and all the little things you have to factor in, like, you know, remembering to factor in the thickness of the foam and that sort of stuff when he's not reading and needs his glasses. I can't bloody read it red green. I can't even guess it, mate. Yeah, but yeah, go check that out, mate. All your answers are in there. But generally, I go for... My doors are generally, 2 inches high by 1 inch wide. My windows are typically an inch wide by 1.5 inches high. And my floors are typically every 3 inches. Right, this one from Red Green I can read. How much ice cream did you have today? I had I had two 99 cones. And they were nice. I had one. Yeah. And then I went and got everyone else and the dog one. The dog had a tub of ice cream, but it was a hot day. And spend $5,000 on the con handbook. That's a hell of a printing run. Don't forget the high bases of your figures. Indeed. It's the lowest gun, so they still look relatively realistic. Not sure I'd agree with that. You can have high windows, low windows. You know what I mean? 3 gallon. You could take the old Mordenheim buildings apart. They just lock together with tabs and plastic fittings. Yeah, that's why I was wondering where the battle systems have got something. I'm more of a cornetto, mate. Right. Next question. Oh, bloody hell. It comes in 3 parts. And Clems. I'm about to start my very first terrain project, an abandoned farm in the Mojave Desert of Dracula's America. And another Old West skirmishes. It's going to be a 3x3 board with gaming mat. A few foreground buildings and some scratch-built fences, rocks and trees. Any advice on matching the colour of the scenery bases to the colour of the mat? Got a video coming out on that really soon. But the cheat trick, yeah, is go to your go to your local hardware store and get a load of the colour swashes for the custom paints, and then you can colour match a couple of colours off from the mat to your paint pots, and then just take those across into your basing. Yeah, I'll be basing and flocking with added details to the new foreground stuff. New France Pioneers cabin wooden old house. I'm not sure whether I should paint them as well to hide the burn marks, MDF, or just weather them up. Personally, I'd just weather them up, mate. What colours to use to depict old greyish wood? First you need to desaturate. So whatever brown you're going with, put a little bit of grey into that brown. That'll make it look old. Okay. After that, you want to give it a dry brush over the top with a lighter grey, which will make it look old as well. Yeah, there's no comments. But yeah, that's how I do that. I mean, there's lots of other techniques for those, but for colour matching the bases to the mat, yeah, colour swashes. That's the easiest way of doing it. Yeah, on the basing, yeah, whether you should paint or weather them, just weather them, mate. They're already essentially already essentially painted. I think you'll take the models too far back and add too much work, yeah, for the sake of cleaning off the burn marks if you're just going to weather them up anyway. And grey is the way of depicting old greyish wood. Put a little bit of grey into your into your actual base colour, and also dry brush over with a lighter grey. Question 12. Martin the Warrior. Thoughts on making a DIY hot wire foam cutter? Is it a good idea, or should I just take the plunge and buy one? Personally speaking, yeah, I went down the take the plunge and buy one route. There's loads of videos on making hot wire cutters, yeah, on YouTube. I mean, I've seen one where one guy basically dismantles the element out of a fire, an electric, the electric bar fires, yeah, and he literally uncoils that wire and makes that into a hot wire. My point of view is I don't have the electrical skills to do it properly enough that I'm happy with that. It's a safe build. I'm certainly not going to do a video on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So my recommendation and what I did personally, I bought, and that's my standard always recommendation to you guys. Same with making static graph suppliers. You know, you can make them pretty easily, but I'm not an electrician. You know, I'm not an electrical engineer. I'm not even going to take the risk. If you are, and you are mechanically minded, and you've watched the videos, and you reckon you can do it, fill your boots. But my recommendation will always be buy one. Shapeways looks good, but I'm not a millionaire. Just a bit, can be a bit pricey on there. Right. Okay, next one. I need to fix these, don't I? I need to fix the chat. Ah, that might explain why the chat's halfway up the screen. Because I moved it halfway up the screen. Oh, we got a super chat. Oh, it'll be coming soon. That'll be a notification. Go flog yourself, Mel, or have a pint. Whilst, thank you, dude. There we go. Whee! Oh, that's looking better as well, isn't it? What's going on there? Oh, did you see that? Oh, I missed that completely. So when he did the super chat, something scrolled across our jaw. Focus. I'm not sure where it is. So there's him at the top of the screen. It's nice to know it's still working and it's slowly getting better. Once I figure out how we can keep the chat on a bit longer, you know what I mean? So it doesn't sort of fade off as quickly. Then I'll be a bit happier. But that'll be in the settings. Oh, am I shouting again, am I? Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'll also have a play with the microphone and see if we can figure that out. Oh, right. And my final question, yeah, of the night. Red Green is asking, did you see the wedding and are you as old as the Queen? No, I didn't see the wedding. I didn't watch the royal wedding. Yeah. It was a lovely day. I was out in the garden with the kids playing. I caught glimpses of it and I've seen, you know, that sort of stuff. But I don't really follow royalty and that sort of stuff. Pat is asking, will you ever work on a desert style terrain, Mel? Yes, I will. I've got a couple of desert projects. To explain right, very quickly, I've switched off the, the questions now. Okay, guys, so no more questions from now on. Very true, Phantom. Yeah. To go back to the project question. The way I'm working it is, as you know, I've just announced I'm doing this Rubble Ruins City, which is a 2x2. The idea is that I've got 6 or 7 of these 2x2 tiles, and I'm going to use, because everyone keeps going, are you going to do deserts, Mel? Are you going to do this? And it's like, but it's a whole series or it's a massive board, and it's like, all right, I can do the deserts or at least do some of it and give you some videos to refer to on these 2x2s. So we're going to do desert one, we're going to do a lava one, we're going to do an overgrown one. Yeah. I'm not sure what other ones we'll do, but there are other ones to do. But because they're 2x2s, I'll be able, I reckon, in about a month or two, because they are side projects, I'll be able to do them enough to do a whole load of different tutorials on them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so that's the plan. Amy and Sheldon's, yes, just before the stream. Have Amy and Sheldon got married? Was that what you call it? Mel, please check your PayPal donation in case something slipped through. My phone's in there charging, but let's nip on here because I can check it on here. Log in. Could you do Flames of War terrain tutorials? I'm sure I probably can. Right. I'm assuming Tam's gone straight for the PayPal, I think, because Tam's made a £10 donation. So thank you, Tam. But Tam hasn't. I don't think Tam's used the link down below, and so we haven't had a notification of it. Yeah, Clems, Gary Shaw, $5. I'm shooting. Yeah, JP Grotz, Ulster. Who's that? $10 US. I'm assuming that. Ulster, Clems, and $1. Right, let's find. There's Ant. There's Callum. Yeah. So we've got Callum there. Yeah. All. Very quickly, yeah, we got all Metal Stun. Yeah, I think Clem, Druid, yeah, we got Drem or Metal. Yeah, we've got everyone with the exception of Tam. So with the exception of Tam, we've got everyone. So thank you, Tam. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday. Yeah, Tam's saying I went straight through PayPal. There you are. That's why we didn't see Tam. But everyone else, it has tracked. Yeah, so I am well chuffed with that. Thank you, my people. A good question. Matthew, Air Combat. Check out. There's Blood Red. Right. I think it's Wings of Glory and Blood Red Skies are the two. Blood Red Skies is the new one, isn't it? And the Wings of the Glory is the one that's been around for a while. This week's plan, Kat, I'm not sure on that at the minute, to be truthful. The reason being is I might change round the Thursday show to a Tuesday show this week. Okay, 2 reasons. Yeah, just basically there'll be a video on Thursday and I'll have a live show on Tuesday. Yeah, I'll know tomorrow if it's happening. I had some students come down and do media students, and they did their 3rd year end of like university project on me, and it's the graduate exhibition on Thursday. So they've invited me, you know, to attend, you know, Keele University and go see this film that they've made of me, and you know what I mean. So I've got that going on. Kerry wants to take me to go see Deadpool for my birthday. And Thursday night, as you know, is the one night where I don't have the kids. So this week, what I might do is I might swap round and I might do a live show on Tuesday and do the, do the video on Thursday. Yeah, just so I can go to this exhibition and I can go see Deadpool. If that's the plan and that's what's happening, I will punt out messages on Monday evening sort of time of everything that's going on. Yeah, and let everyone know. We plan to take over the world. Indeed. Indeed. Of course you will change it. This week I don't have to work Thursdays and I was going to be able to watch the whole show. Oh, Cat. It may still say the same, Duck. I may go in the day. They don't let me out on Tuesdays. Listen, I'll know by end of play tomorrow. It really depends what time this graduate exhibition is, and I need to find that out. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to call it now. I've also got to figure out how on OBS I switch this off. Right, I found a button which says end stream. I'm hoping, yeah. I'm hoping that this works. That's how my life goes. Welcome to mine, Cat. Welcome to mine. Right, guys. I'm going to love you and leave you. So, listen, guys. Thanks for joining me on my birthday. Yeah. Hope you've had a good one. Sorry about the ups and downs at the start of the show. We got settled, yeah, and we will improve things. And yeah, we always do with these things. You know how it's like when Mel gets new toys. It takes me a little while to get used to them. Yeah, but we'll sort it. In the meantime, thanks for your support, guys. Yeah, thanks for... I don't even know what we were collecting for tonight. Yeah, but in the meantime, I'm just going to say good night. I'm probably going to go blow up some tanks. So, if you're around, I'll catch you on the tanks. All the best, yeah? Ta-ra.